Imagine being judged for something as simple as how you look. What if your worth was questioned before you even had a chance to prove yourself? This story follows Benjamin Harris, a man on a mission to uncover hidden biases and set things right in his company. What happens next will leave everyone stunned, especially those who underestimated him. Benjamin Harris had just been appointed the new CEO of Brightview Solutions, a major tech company that was expanding faster than anyone could have predicted. But before he officially took over, he had one crucial mission. He needed to know the true culture of his management team. Benjamin understood all too well how bias and prejudice could hide behind fake smiles and formal business attire. He wanted to experience it firsthand, without the filter of his powerful title. So, he came up with a bold plan. He would visit the company headquarters, not as the CEO, but disguised as a job applicant. To make the test even more challenging, he decided to use a wheelchair, pretending to be a candidate for a junior data analyst position. This way, he could see the unfiltered, honest reactions of the hiring team, the very faces of Brightview Solutions. The headquarters of Brightview Solutions was bustling with activity. It was hiring day, and the lobby was crowded with hopeful applicants holding their resumes, nervously practicing their interview answers. Benjamin quietly wheeled himself into the building, blending in with the crowd. He observed everything, from the polished floors reflecting the bright lights to the lively chatter of the candidates. He noticed the HR team scattered around the lobby, chatting and laughing among themselves. They seemed completely unaware of the man in the wheelchair who had just entered, a man they would have treated very differently if they knew who he really was. A moment later, an HR manager called out, "Mr. Harris?" But today, Benjamin wasn't using his real name. He had chosen the alias Larry Simmons, just another ordinary job seeker. The manager assigned to oversee the interviews was Cheryl Dixon, a tall woman in her mid-30s with sharp, assessing eyes. She looked over at Benjamin with a raised eyebrow, clearly surprised to see him in a wheelchair. "You're Mr. Simmons?" Cheryl asked, barely hiding her shock. Benjamin nodded, extending his hand politely. "Yes, I am." Cheryl looked at his hand but didn't shake it. Instead, she gave him a dismissive glance and a faint smirk. "You're here for the data analyst position?" she asked, her voice dripping with disbelief. "Yes, ma'am," Benjamin replied, maintaining his calm demeanor. Cheryl let out a short, sarcastic laugh. "A data analyst, in your condition?" She scoffed, loud enough for a few candidates nearby to overhear. Some of them exchanged awkward glances, clearly uncomfortable. Unfazed, Benjamin nodded. "Yes, I have the skills and experience required." "Oh, do you now?" Cheryl's tone grew sharper. "Brightview Solutions isn't exactly the place for people with limitations," she said, emphasizing the word limitations as if it were an insult. The lobby grew quiet. The other candidates looked away, pretending not to notice the blatant disrespect. Cheryl continued, throwing out condescending comments, clearly making assumptions based solely on Benjamin's appearance. But he took mental notes of everything she said, every insult and dismissive gesture. Finally, Cheryl sighed, as if bored with the conversation. "Let's not waste anyone's time here," she said. "Maybe this job isn't for you." Benjamin took a deep breath, looking around at the other HR members who were within earshot. Not one of them stepped in to stop Cheryl's behavior. With a polite nod, he turned his wheelchair and started heading toward the exit. But he had no intention of leaving the building just yet. This was only the beginning. Later that afternoon, Benjamin was back in his office, dressed as himself, no wheelchair, no alias. The events of the morning played over in his mind, especially Cheryl's dismissive words and the way her colleagues had ignored her behavior. He knew how damaging such attitudes could be, especially to people who didn't have the power to fight back. Benjamin's assistant, Jake, knocked on the door. "Are you ready for the staff introduction, sir?" he asked with a smile. Benjamin nodded, standing up from his desk. "Perfect timing, Jake. Let's go meet everyone." The main auditorium was filled with employees, buzzing with excitement. Cheryl and the HR team sat near the front, chatting amongst themselves. They had no idea that the very candidate Cheryl had insulted that morning was about to walk on stage as their new boss. The founder of the company, David, stepped up to the podium. He was a respected figure who had built Brightview Solutions from scratch. Clearing his throat, he began, "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for gathering here today. It's my pleasure to introduce our new CEO, a leader who believes in people's potential above all else. Please welcome my brother, Benjamin Harris." The room erupted in applause as Benjamin walked onto the stage, his gaze sweeping across the audience. Cheryl's face went pale as she recognized him instantly. Her confident smirk vanished, replaced by shock and fear. Benjamin took the microphone. "Thank you all for the warm welcome," he began. "I'm truly honored to join Brightview Solutions. Today, I want to talk about the core values of our company: respect, inclusivity, and integrity." He paused, his eyes locking onto Cheryl. "Earlier today, I came here not as your CEO, but as a candidate, seeking an opportunity like anyone else. I wanted to see firsthand if Brightview was a place where people are judged on their skills, not their appearance or physical abilities." A murmur spread through the audience as realization dawned on them. Cheryl's colleagues looked at her with a mix of shock and discomfort. "To my disappointment," Benjamin continued, "I encountered assumptions, dismissiveness, and even outright prejudice." Cheryl sat frozen, her face red with embarrassment. She couldn't meet Benjamin's gaze. Benjamin's voice grew firmer. "There is no room in this company for discrimination or disrespect. Every person who walks through our doors deserves fairness. To those of you who might be afraid to speak up, let this be a message. I am here to ensure that Brightview Solutions remains a place of integrity." David stepped back up, placing a supportive hand on Benjamin's shoulder. "I stand by my brother in this vision," he said. Turning to Cheryl, he added, "Miss Dixon, please meet us in my office after this meeting." Cheryl's face turned white. She nodded silently, realizing the gravity of the situation. This brings us to the end of this powerful story about justice, respect, and change. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to Unfolded Tales Explained and hit the bell icon for more compelling stories. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.